It's an open debate after the first question. First question is to Sudhanshu Trivedi. Sudhanshu Trivedi and then Randeep Surjewala comes in. We have to discuss both whether they are firing and shooting off Subramanian Swamy's shoulder. So there are two issues we'll pick up. It's a political debate. One, are you firing over Subramanian Swamy's shoulder? Is he the weapon? And are you really the person holding that weapon? Second question is vendetta charge, which includes the charge of vendetta extending itself to the courts, on which Mahesh Jethmalani has strong views. My पहला सवाल मेरा सुधांशु त्रिवेदी जी से है. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, ये आपका केस है, सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी का केस नहीं है. इफेक्टिवली आपका केस है. आप क्यों डिसोन कर रहे हैं? ये जो नेशनल हेरल्ड केस है, ये आपका केस है, बीजेपी का केस है, गवर्नमेंट का केस है. आपने करवाया है. ईडी के हेड को आपने ट्रांसफर किया, आपने फॉलो अप किया. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, यू नो इट. कैन यू हियर मी, सुधांशु त्रिवेदी? दिस इज योर केस. एक्सेप्ट इट इज योर केस. डोंट डिसोन द केस नाउ. क्योंकि आप बैकफुट पर है सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, आप इसको डिसोन मत कीजिए. मिस्टर त्रिवेदी, कैन यू हियर मी?
Well, if he can't hear you, then let me answer that.
I think he can. Okay, he can't. He'll get to hear you answer that. Do you think it is basically the government shooting off Subramanian Swamy's shoulder? Go ahead, Mr. Surjewala.
A simple question to you and your viewers for your consideration. Who is Subramanian Swamy? He is member of Central Core Committee of Bharatiya Janata Party. If it's not political vendetta, why is Subramanian Swamy given Z category security and a house 10 hours before this hearing was to take place in the court? If it's not political vendetta, then why does Finance Minister Mr. Arun Jaitley takes a complaint from Mr. Subramanian Swamy, asks Finance Ministry to examine, but in August 2015 makes a public statement saying Subramanian Swamy's complaint is correct, nudging his juniors to take action on a complaint by Swamy. And when ED head Rajan Katoch says that there is nothing wrong with the case of National Herald, he is sacked within 24 hours. His junior Mr. Lal is sacked, not given a posting for 3 months, and is finally given a sideline posting completely.
So what's your point?
If it is not
you make your point to Sudhanshu Trivedi.
Then when the Delhi High Court judgment comes, just one sec only, one line I will say. When Delhi High Court judgment comes, within 10 minutes without even a copy of judgment being available, why does BJP hold a press conference in their national headquarters to sidestep and to remold and reshape and level allegations, quay the judgment? And why is every political leader of BJP, from Home Minister to Urban Development Minister to Parliamentary Affairs Minister, level allegations, quay National Herald day in and day out? It is Mr. Narendra Modi's case who's unleashing political vendetta against the Gandhis, and Subramanian Swamy is nothing but he is a pure mask. He is a small cog in this wheel of entire conspiracy.
And who's behind the conspiracy?
Obviously, Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, in his malicious quest to wreak revenge against the Nehru-Gandhi family, is using not only the agencies of the government, but has put up Subramanian Swamy as head of their dirty tricks department. And that is now open for everybody to see and judge.
Sudhanshu Trivedi, please reply. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? First, I'm checking whether you can hear me. Did you hear Randeep Surjewala? He has said that you are planning this whole thing out. The Prime Minister is the person who's planning this whole thing out. Subramanian Swamy मुखौटा है बीजेपी के. वो कह रहे मुखौटा है. आप मुखौटा बाहर कीजिए, निकाल दीजिए मुखौटा. वो कह रहे हैं आपका केस है. नेशनल हेरल्ड केस इज योर केस. ओन इट. बिकम अ को-लिटिगेंट. बिकम अ को-लिटिगेंट. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, कोर्ट में आप खुद इम्प्लीड हो जाइए केस पे.
देखिए, द बेसिक premise which you are trying to give.
Can he hear the audio directly, please, if possible, and not through the TV?
I am unable to understand. How does BJP come into picture in the National Herald case? It is the case between a litigant and the accused. The litigant, Mr. Subramanian Swamy. The case initiated in January 2013, when their government was there at center, and Subramanian Swamy was not the part of BJP, and even Sri Narendra Modi was not even the prime ministerial candidate. For 1.5 years, if their government was in the power and they were so neat and clean, why they have not cleared each and everything? So their basic premise that the entire case is being projected by Prime Minister and Subramanian Swamy is a stooge or something like that is totally false and baseless.
No, but you can't get away with that. He's also asking you, why did you allot a Lutyens Delhi house? He's saying, आपने Lutyens Delhi में घर क्यों दिया Subramanian Swamy को? One day before Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi are to appear in court.
It is going on.
Can you hear me?
From 2G case.
Sir, can you hear me?
Cases against Jayalalitha.
Sir, can you put your earpiece on and switch on the TV so you can hear you off the earpiece, please?
He was a litigant. Then how you significantly, exclusively take out this thing? And then you say that it is the Subramanian Swamy.
I'm having an audio problem,
BJP.
please.
I think the Congress is trying to take a political case out of a purely legal technical case in which up till now
Randeep,
no government agency is involved, no investigation from the government side is there.
Randeep is responding. You haven't answered the questions and I think I lost the audio line with you. Yes, please, Randeep.
No, I think what Sudhanshu forgets
Can Sudhanshu be
is
on the
that
screen,
same Mr. Subramanian Swamy files a complaint to Prime Minister and Finance Minister on identical grounds in National Herald case, which is referred by Prime Minister and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. I am saying it with a sense of responsibility to Enforcement Directorate. When Enforcement Director Mr. Rajan Katoch says there is nothing wrong with it, Prime Minister Mr. Modi sacks him on a complaint made by Subramanian Swamy. He not only sacks Rajan Katoch, he also sacks number 2 person, Mr. Lal, on a complaint made by Mr. Subramanian Swamy. Mr. Subramanian Swamy is given Z security by Prime Minister. Mr. Subramanian Swamy is rewarded with a house in Lutyens, Delhi. How is it not a Prime Minister's case? It's a political battle. We are ready to take on this political battle. And let me remind you, Arnab, because you have a great sense of history. On this day in 1978, 19th December 1978, Shrimati Indira Gandhi by Janata Party was sent to jail. Similarly, Mr. Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party are today prosecuting and
What does this have to do with the emergency? You're playing the victimhood card now. You're playing the victimhood card.
The similarity
you want to play
history,
victim.
No, the similarity
you want to play victim.
is remarkable. They similarly persecuted Mrs. Gandhi, they persecuted Rajiv Gandhi, they persecuted Sonia Gandhi for her citizenship, they persecuted Sonia Gandhi on the issue of office of profit. We came back winners all the time because truth wins, and this time again truth is going to win.
Okay, I'm sorry to have to interrupt this debate. No, I'm sorry to have to interrupt this debate. I'm having a small audio glitch and the debate can't continue unless I fix this. So I'll take a 2-minute break. I'm sorry, this is for technical reasons. I'll have to take a 2-minute break. I'll come back when I've fixed the audio line. Otherwise, we are not getting into the debate. Let's take a break. I think we fixed the audio issue right now. Randeep, I'll allow you to make your point in a simple case because I think he did not hear you before, Sudhanshu Trivedi. Sudhanshu Trivedi, आप अगर अभी सुन रहे हैं, रणदीप सुरजेवाला ने बहुत सीधी तरह से कहा है कि सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी मुखौटा है. He has said कि मुखौटा है. आपका केस है, आप में हिम्मत है तो सामने आके आप खुद कीजिए, केस फाइट कीजिए, आप लिटिगेंट बन जाइए, आप जाइए कोर्ट. सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, आप फाइट कीजिए डायरेक्टली. आप सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी के थ्रू करने की क्या जरूरत है? रणदीप सुरजेवाला पॉइंट फिर से रिपीट करेंगे, दोहराएंगे ब्रीफली, फिर आप रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे. गो अहेड.
Arnab, the case is extremely simple. Subramanian Swamy is a member of the core committee of BJP. He was given Z security by none less than Prime Minister of the country. He was given a Lutyens bungalow in reward 10 hours before this appearance in this case. Subramanian Swamy claims that it's not political vendetta, private complaint, and then why does the Finance Minister of the country, on a complaint made by Subramanian Swamy, refers this entire matter first to ED, then makes a public statement saying Subramanian Swamy's complaint is correct and has lot of strength, nudging his juniors to take action. And when Rajan Katoch, Enforcement Director, refuses to take action, Mr. Modi sacks him within 24 hours. Not only sacks him,
how do you know he refused to take action? Where have you got this inside story all from? Who's told you? What's your source?
A regular Enforcement Director has not been appointed.
No, you could be
And
writing
not only
fiction
this,
there.
Within 10 minutes of the judgment of the Delhi High Court, none less than the BJP spokesperson in BJP's national headquarters does a press conference and twists the entire judgment without a copy being available.
Sudhanshu.
Every day, Rajnath ji, Venkaiah Naidu ji, and all other BJP leaders twist National Herald case. If it is not their case, if it is not Mr. Modi who is instigating this case, if Mr. Modi is not persecuting the Congress leadership, then why are you backing him in this fashion?
Absolutely. Well,
So own it up and we will have a
Sudhanshu
political
Trivedi, if you are trying to piggyback on Subramanian Swamy's case for political reasons, tell the people of this country कि हम piggyback कर रहे हैं. कह दीजिए आप. कह दीजिए हम piggyback कर रहे हैं सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी पर.
Whatever Congress party is saying, अरे सुनिए तो, whatever the Congress party is saying is coming from the fig of the imagination, which is not having any substantive base. The fact of the matter is, up till now, there is no investigation started by any government agencies. The court has just taken the case in cognizance. The court will decide that which agency will have the investigation, whether it is going to be ED or the CBI or the Delhi police. So up till now, no government agency is there in the context. The fact of the matter is, the matter is between the court, the complainant and the accused. Nowhere the government agency or any form of the government involvement is there. But they want to put it. Today Sonia ji has given a statement कि हम डरने वाले नहीं हैं. हमारे ऊपर ये चलता रहा है.
आपका केस है कि नहीं है? आप रणदीप सुरजेवाला को कह दीजिए कि हमारा केस है कि नहीं है. नहीं, रणदीप सुरजेवाला नहीं, मैं सिर्फ चाहता हूं कि रणदीप सुरजेवाला को डायरेक्टली आप जवाब दीजिए. मैं आपको कहता हूं द बीजेपी हैज लेफ्ट नो स्टोन अनटर्न्ड व्हेन इट कम्स टू यूजिंग द नेशनल हेराल्ड केस अगेंस्ट द कांग्रेस पार्टी पॉलिटिकली. आपने पॉलिटिकली इसको यूज किया है. यूज किया है आपने केस, तो आप कह दीजिए हमने यूज किया है. आप ये मत कहिए कि इस केस के साथ हमारा कोई लेना देना नहीं है.
आप मुझे जवाब देने दीजिए.
आप क्या डर चुके हैं आज?
अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी नेशनल हेराल्ड का कायाकल्प करना चाहती थी, दे वांट टू हेल्प द नेशनल हेराल्ड, देन व्हाई दे हैव नॉट टेकन द रूट दैट द यंग इंडियन कंपनी और AJL विल बी टेकन ओवर बाय देयर प्रेसिडेंट, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट एंड द ट्रेजरर, अध्यक्ष, उपाध्यक्ष और कोषाध्यक्ष. दे कुड हैव बीन एक्स ऑफिशियो.
तो आपका केस है ना, तो आप तो एडमिट कर रहे हैं, इट इज योर केस पर्सनल. सो इट इज योर केस.
Now, complete me.
So it is your case.
The case is not with the Congress party, it is with the personal Gandhi family. And you want to make it Gandhi family versus BJP. The fact is
it not Gandhi family versus BJP? Is it not Gandhi family versus BJP, or is it Gandhi family against Subramanian Swamy? Is it Gandhi family against BJP or not? इतना सरल सवाल है आपसे.
It is the matter. It is. अरे भाई बड़ी सिंपल सी बात है. एक परिवार है जिससे भ्रष्टाचार का आरोप लगा है, और एक भ्रष्टाचारी ने भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप का एक तरफ से किसी ने शिकायत किया है. इसमें पॉलिटिकल पार्टी कहां से बीच में है? मैं
आपने यूज किया, आपने
कहता हूं, अगर वो AJL में कांग्रेस के बाय द पोस्ट ऑफ कांग्रेस नोबडी इज देयर, हाउ डज कांग्रेस पार्टी कम?
I think he needs to
then how
correct
BJP, they want BJP to be the part of it.
You are part of it. You've had 10 press conferences on it. आपने 10 प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के इस इशू पर आप आज क्यों
one more thing
आप आज pull back क्यों कर रहे हैं?
happens with the Congress party always that they give money to the companies and they take money from the companies. You remember the Volcker report of 2000?
Are you disowning it? You don't want to talk about the national case. आप बात नहीं करना चाहते.
Now you are giving 90 crores to the company by the Congress party. अरे भाई, ये आप इस ढंग के लेन देन के व्यापार में कांग्रेस का ही नाम क्यों आता है?
तो आपका केस है ना, आपने एडमिट तो कर दिया ना टेलीविजन पर कि आपका ही केस है.
पैसा कांग्रेस से लेते हैं.
आपने एडमिट तो कर दिया कि आपका केस है.
पार्टी देती है. ऐसा क्यों होता भाई?
तो आपका केस है, आपने एडमिट कर दिया कि हमारा केस है. तो वही तो बात पूछ रहे थे आपको. अभी रणदीप सुरजेवाला वांट्स टू रिस्पॉन्ड. 1 सेकंड. रणदीप सुरजेवाला. रणदीप.
Arnab, I think my friend needs to, Sudhanshu bhai needs to correct a few of his facts. And I put it to him. Is it not a fact, Sudhanshu bhai, that Subramanian Swamy files a complaint to Prime Minister as also to Finance Minister Shri Arun Jethmalani? They order an investigation into the complaint, so you are not right that it is not a complaint.
पहले आप मेरे फैक्ट्स का जवाब दे दीजिए.
Also, Finance Minister not only orders, आप जरा सुनने का धैर्य रखिए भैया.
First you reply my question. why you... No, आपने मेरा question का जवाब नहीं दिया.
And please have little patience. Why is it that your finance minister proceeds to order an investigation
Sonia Gandhi,
and also
Rahul Gandhi and the
publicly makes a
persons will be
statement
taking over the
that the case of Subramanian Swamy is absolutely correct? And consequently, when it is not found correct by none less than your own enforcement director, you proceed to sack him. Forget that also. Let me answer one more thing for you. You raise other issues. Can you please answer why did Bharatiya Janata Party also run 2 newspapers, and when you lost money in them, because you can rightfully lose money, went to income tax and said we have lost money, so please write off this loss as a business loss. And you went to income tax department and filed a case and then consequently wrote off that loss from 2 newspapers as business losses. But you say no, Congress party cannot write off loss from its own newspaper. Only
but Mr. Surjewala, Mr. Surjewala, can it also be said? No, Mr. Surjewala, now my question is to you. No, Mr. Surjewala, now my question is to you. Now my question is to you.
क्वेश्चन था कि कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष, उपाध्यक्ष और कोषाध्यक्ष के रूप में क्यों नहीं राइट ऑफ किया आपने? In our case, the money was given by party and came back to the party. In your case, the money was given by party and practically the persons have become the owner of the property. This is my basic question.
I think you suffer from complete lack of knowledge or myopia, my friend. This is a newspaper that was formed in 1938 and it's a company constituted by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and many others. It is an unlisted public company under the Companies Act since 1938. It's not as if this company was constituted now. The company was given
so many
loan
other
from
shareholders
time
have also
to
came
run
into
a
existence.
newspaper.
That is the other side of this story. Like Shanti Bhushan and others.
One minute. Now,
it is only thereafter that Congress party proceeded
Mr. Surjewala,
by converting it into
Mr. Surjewala, I want to share one bit of fact with you, please. If you do some research, Mr. Surjewala,
in which you try to
Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, आप थोड़े back foot पे आज.
Even you try to
थोड़ा back foot पे.
legacy itself.
आप थोड़ा सा बैक फुट पे आज, थोड़ा सा मैं ज्यादा नहीं, थोड़ा बैक फुट पे है आप आज.
क्योंकि आज
ठीक है,
आपको
मेरी बात सुनिए. Now we'll go to the vendetta charge. One second. Before I go to the vendetta charge.
अरे मैं तो तथ्य पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे.
अच्छा मान्यवर, आपको भी मैं सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, मेरी बात तो सुन लीजिए.
पैरा नंबर 39 में क्रिमिनल इंटेंट वर्ड लिखा है.
स्वामी और आपको
द वर्ड क्रिमिनल इंटेंट हैज बीन यूज्ड बाय हाई कोर्ट.
Okay, Aryama Sundaram and Mahesh Jethmalani must be thinking. Aryama Sundaram and Mahesh Jethmalani must be thinking.
हमें अपेक्षा है.
Aryama Sundaram and Mahesh Jethmalani must be thinking, because they are not politician and active politician respectively, they are not being allowed to speak. Can I get them into the debate? And before I get them into the debate, I want to just share with you one thing. You see, Randeep, Swamy filed the plea against the Gandhis on November 2012, which is 1 year, 6 months and 13 days before the Modi government came to power on the 16th of May 2014. Stop fighting windmills. To allege that the allegations are politically motivated by the centre is nothing short of an exaggeration. And not just that, Randeep, Mahesh Jethmalani feels you have been extremely unfair in even making accusations against the court. You are a trained lawyer. Mahesh will make the point on why he feels you went overboard in accusing the court. You should not have done that today. Today you are showing respect to the courts by walking in. But 1 week back, you insulted the courts by imputing motives to the court.
Let me correct you.
Mahesh Jethmalani. Hear Mahesh and then come back. Hear Mahesh and then come back. Mahesh Jethmalani.
Look, Arnab, all I can say is public perception apart and the Congress party's attempt to create this public perception of vendetta, this is a case with very hard facts. I don't want to discuss the merits because 2 courts have already upheld that there's a prima facie case. The correct forum for the Congress, for anybody who truly respects the rule of law, right, is to go to the Supreme Court if they have a grievance. I mean, we are told, contrary to well-established law, that Dr. Swamy has no locus in this matter. If it's as simple as a matter as that, it goes to the root of the whole case, go to the Supreme Court and challenge it. All I can say is, with my limited knowledge of criminal law, the concept of locus standi, it has been repeated in Supreme Court decision after Supreme Court decision, is alien to criminal law. Anybody can set the criminal law in motion. Now, let me tell you, this is a very strong prima facie case. It's very simple. Mr. Surjewala should realize this, that you took 90 crores from the Congress party. 90 crores was owed by Associated Journals to the Congress party. The Congress party, same people manning all three institutions, Young India, Associated Journals and Congress party. 90 crores was given, that debt was assigned to Young India, a fly-by-night company with a 5 lakh share capital in 2010. 90 crores was assigned for a paltry sum of 50 lakhs. Young India pays 50 lakhs, gets a 90 crore debt. It uses the same 90 crore debt almost immediately to buy 99% shares of Associated Journals, which has 2,000 crores of property. What are the objects of Young India? The objects of Young India are to promote secularism and democracy. Why do you have to promote secularism and democracy by taking over Associated Journals, which has 2,000 crores of prime real estate property? Why didn't you take over, for instance, communalism combat from Teesta Setalvad and Javed Anand? You would have got it for a much cheaper price.
Okay, you want to discuss the merits of the case?
So
Randeep,
please.
are you ready? Randeep, are you ready to discuss the merits of the case? Are you ready?
Come to the Supreme Court and...
Okay, are you ready? One second. Once Aryaman will go to the merits of the case if Randeep is ready. Randeep, are you ready to debate the merits of the case for the next 10 minutes? Are you ready?
Merits of the case will be discussed in appeal as also before trial court. I will only beg to differ with my senior colleague here, Mr. Jethmalani, and point out three things here. Number one, nobody has leveled accusations against the court. We have consistently said we have complete respect for the court. Second point Mr. Jethmalani makes is about the locus standi and says that in criminal law everybody has a locus. Mr. Jethmalani, with deference to you, and I think all of us have seen a little bit of criminal law, for certain types of offences everybody has a locus. But for an offence that Mr. Subramanian Swamy is alleging, there is the offence of cheating. For cheating, you necessarily have to have a locus, but that's a matter that will be argued.
You don't know the facts.
I don't think so.
Case of
He has any locus. Number three, for both, there has to be a person for whom there has been a breach of trust, and there is a person who had the responsibility to not commit. Mr. Subramanian Swamy or BJP is not a member of the Congress party. They are not a shareholder of Associated Journals Limited. Please have the patience to hear. They are not a shareholder of Associated Journals Limited. He has nothing to do with Congress party. If anything, Mr. Subramanian Swamy has made a profession out of persecuting.
No, but how is that relevant? How is that relevant, Mr. Surjewala? No, Mr. Surjewala. Okay, one second. Should we get Aryaman in? 1 second.
Because Mr. Jethmalani raises the issue of locus standi.
No.
And thirdly, may I just point out in a second only what Mr. Jethmalani said. Associated Journals Limited is who? Associated Journals Limited is a company that was constituted by Pandit Nehru and other Congress leaders for setting up a newspaper and running it in accordance with ideology of the Congress party. Congress party gives it loan from time to time for what purpose? For payment of salary, for payment of statutory dues, etc. Congress party decides to assign that loan to its own company. No, National Herald. And for that purpose, constitutes a not-for-profit company. A not-for-profit company.
We don't want to go into the history of a neo-monarchist party. Come on.
You can't sell the company.
You're listening to Surjewala, who's filibustering on the history and antecedents of a party. He's a neo-monarchist, for God's sake.
No personal comments, Mr. Jethmalani. Who's a monarchist and who's not is not the...
Anybody...
You should ask your father, who has leveled similar allegations on identical issues against Mr. Arun Jaitley, the finance minister of the country. I think it's time that you went and also discussed it with your father.
I have. Thank you very much. We've had plenty of in-house discussions. We have plenty of in-house disagreements. Unlike you, in our family, unlike yours, democracy begins at home.
Okay, can we keep the families out of it? Thank you.
I have no doubt on his acumen and capability.
His family is the Congress family. His family is the Congress family.
Kindly also discuss with him because we all live in high regard.
Is Rahul and Sonia.
1 second. Can I come in this please and get Aryama, who's enjoying the debate?
Arnab, it always becomes a family affair.
अरे अभी आ रहे हैं politics पे अभी आ रहे हैं one second.
Yes, it is a family affair.
Just a minute, just Aryama.
Without the family, they're often.
Aryama Sundaram, you know, it's 30 minutes into the debate. I want to settle this whole issue of Locus and Subramanian Swamy, etc. Now, Randeep, you are on a little bit of a weak ground. Even assuming that Subramanian Swamy is a mask, a bad man, an agent, a weapon, and fighting for the BJP, please kindly consider what the Supreme Court held in the case of a leader from your state, from your party, the Bhajan Lal's case. Even assuming that the complainant has laid the complaint only on account of his personal animosity, that by itself will not be a ground to discard the complaint containing serious allegations which have to be tested and weighed before the evidence is collected. You know that the Delhi High Court has dismissed the Congress questioning Subramanian Swamy's locus standi in filing the case. So don't go there. But my strongest point against you, Randeep, is that if the Congress sees Subramanian Swamy, and don't react to what I'm about to say, it's not to provoke you, but to just make you ponder. If the Congress sees Subramanian Swamy as the BJP's proxy, mole / mask, then on the Newshour tonight, will you concede that former IPS officer Sanjeev Bhatt was your proxy against Narendra Modi in the context of the 2002 riots? We're not saying it. The Supreme Court observed that he was a tool in the hands of quote-unquote rival political parties. You know my point. You got the drift, Randeep.
And moreover, they have posted an officer.
You got the drift, Randeep. You got the drift, Randeep. Yes, now answer.
In Gujarat. It never happened in the Indian history.
Will Randeep answer?
I'm not provoked, but I hope you will let me answer that.
No, I didn't mean to provoke. I just didn't want you to get provoked.
But I hope since you level an allegation and a very serious one against the Congress party, I hope you.
I didn't say it. Supreme Court said
things. Number one, as far as Supreme Court never named the Congress party. Please do not.
It said rival political parties. Who were they talking of?
Exist. And let me correct you. And let me correct you on that. So, firstly, as far as locus standi is concerned, I am sure an appropriate court will decide upon the issue, because we definitely believe that in the allegations that Mr. Swamy is leveling, he has no role to play, because he is not a member of the Congress party. He is also not a shareholder of AJL. Number two, as far as Mr. Sanjeev Bhatt is concerned, do not forget that over 3,000 people were massacred under the watch of none less than Prime Minister of the country, Shri Narendra Modi. Who killed them? Nobody killed them. We will not like to believe so. Definitely not a seasoned journalist like you will never believe so. Because considering the number of shows and the manner in which people were butchered alive were shown by your channel in Gujarat.
I was on the matter of principle, sir, not case.
Who were they butchered?
I was on a matter of principle, the principle of law.
The matter of principle is the person who was Chief Minister of the state cannot be not held accountable. And let me remind you, none less than Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee had to remind Mr. Modi of Raj Dharma.
Now I want to go
to when people were being butchered under.
Now can I get between us? Let's get the arbiter. I don't think Mahesh Jethmalani is a neutral arbiter. Anyway, you've dragged in families into this. I don't think Sudhanshu is a neutral arbiter, so I'll try my luck with Aryama Sundaram. Aryama Sundaram, settle this case, and then we go to the issue of vendetta. The case is Subramanian Swamy, bad man, vested interest group, cannot be taken seriously, political adversary, mask, etc., etc. Does that argument hold at all? Aryama Sundaram versus Randeep Surjewala.
Can I, Arnab, try to dissect the whole issue into four distinct parts and come to my conclusion of why I feel what I do? First part is the issue of the legality of the charges, the merits of the charges. Was there really a money which was transferred in one way or the other, and assets which were transferred? That's the merits. Now that is something which will definitely be decided in the courts. Number two is the question of locus standi, where there's much to be said as to whether there is locus standi, because one correct thing was being pointed out, is that in a case of cheating or breach of trust, it's the person who's cheated who has to give the complaint, or the person who's in breach, whose trust has been breached, who has to give it. Now in the Subramanian Swamy Manmohan Singh case, it was public monies, public trust, and it was national resources. So that becomes a debatable issue in itself, and there is a lot of doubt as to whether the locus standi is there. But I don't want to get in there. It's the third and fourth issues which I feel are very important.
Right.
The third issue is whether we like to accept it or not, whether it is true or not, however much it may be denied, there is absolutely no manner of doubt that in the perception of people who are neutral, and I include myself as one, that Mr. Subramanian Swamy is a member of the BJP.
Yeah.
His interest in this fight is for the BJP. The BJP itself is making political capital out of it.
Yeah.
And therefore, the charge of political vendetta does stick. Does that remove the criminality? No. But what the perception of political vendetta does is to trivialize the aspect of criminality of the act.
But doesn't
As
take
to whether
away
the
from
act is
it.
criminal or not, I am not commenting because I have my own views. I personally believe that there is no locus standi.
When you go
But let me come to the fourth and most important thing of all this.
Okay.
In the offshoot of all this, what we're really... I'm sorry, can I just finish the last thing?
Sure.
I'm just saying the offshoot of all this is really today that we have come to understand, and it has become an understood factor, that political parties do use the judicial process as a means of targeting the political opponents.
Is that illegal?
And this has now come to pass that when the judicial process can be used in order to target a political opponent, it is used. And this is, I think it will be naive to think that Mr. Subramanian Swamy's purpose of complaint is to safeguard the interest of the Congress party and to ensure that Congress members are not cheated of funds of the Congress party. His interest is definitely political in nature. And like you said, it has been held that even if it is political, if there's a criminal charge, it can be followed. But the fact is, there's a
Mahesh
perception
Jethmalani
of a
now
political
coming.
vendetta,
Yeah, okay.
coupled with the fact which we have to accept today, that the courts and the judicial process has become one tool in the hands of political parties hitting against another
But I don't understand.
And that's what you're seeing.
I don't
here
understand.
also.
You see, the Randeep Surjewala is pushing the vendetta argument. How is it vendetta? Randeep and Mahesh Jethmalani wants to. How is it vendetta? It is the court of law in its wisdom, Mr. Surjewala, after examining the merits of the case. Not Amit Shah who has ordered the trial to proceed. The Delhi High Court, not Narendra Modi, has said the allegation against a party of siphoning of funds is a serious concern and has questioned the need, quote, of extending free loans to a public limited company engaged in a commercial venture of publishing newspapers. A debt of 90 crores assigned and not liquidated from AJL's assets worth 2,000 crores. This is what the court has said. Answer that question. You can't say today the court is a BJP court. Mahesh Jethmalani wants to come in first, and Randeep, I'll give you your full turn. Mahesh Jethmalani, please. Yeah. How is it vendetta politics is this part of the debate? Yeah.
Arnab, yes, Arnab, just I want to reply to both. I want to reply to, very briefly to Mr. Sundaram's allegation of locus and why he seems to believe that locus may not be there, and then Mr. Surjewala's allegation of vendetta. Let me just tell you this. As far as locus is concerned, Mr. Sundaram focuses on the 90 crores and says
Mahesh,
the Congress party
I did
matter.
not state my full argument. I just said that's an issue. I'd be glad to argue it with you.
That's an issue. Okay. Yeah, fine. So I'm just telling you, since you also raised the issue of locus and you said that it's 90 crores, it's a business of the Congress party. First of all, it's not. But let's not focus on the 90 crores. The real misappropriation, which is money has gone out, property has gone out from the control of Associated Journals to a 25 company. 99% of those shares was used with Congress party funds given for a pittance to Young India.
None of the shareholders of that company objected. No shareholder, officer of that company or either company opposed it. This is why I said if you want to have a debate on it, then I will say fully what my reasons are. But I was touching on the issues. That's all.
Aryaman, you had your say. You can come back and rejoin the. Please don't interrupt me.
I'll be glad to explain to you exactly why I'm saying it.
Yeah, so you can rejoin after I say this. When the share capital of Associated Journals was issued to fresh subscription,
what you are saying is factually incorrect.
Let me just finish. Surjewala, please, 1 minute. Yes.
One minute.
Mahesh Jethmalani. A notice was given to all the shareholders and there were 761 of them. This was not, Associated Journals was not the private property of the Congress party of some of its members. There were many independent. Acharya Narendra was one. Shanti Bhushan's family, parents had shares in this company. So when the share capital of Associated Journals was issued, a false notice was issued to the shareholders that we are having this EGM of the board. but there is going to be no change of controlling stake. Now, this was a false statement because what happened
now you're leveling serious allegations. Now you're taking the allegations one step further. You are making accusations of falsehood, fraud and forgery. I must give a chance to respond.
The notice today, Motilal Vora has distanced himself from it.
Now Randeep will have to respond because you extended the charge to falsehood and fraud.
You are leveling a false allegation. Knowing that you are leveling a false allegation.
May I answer that?
Randeep will respond. Randeep's turn.
Arnab, can I just answer that?
It's Randeep's turn,
Mr. Jethmalani, Mr. Shanti Bhushan, may I tell you, Mr. Jethmalani, Mr. Shanti Bhushan is not a shareholder of Associated Journals Limited.
Oh.
You know Companies Act very well. Under Section 108,
he claims he
shares have to be transferred from your father or grandfather through a proper process. Without getting the shares
Acharya Narendra
your siblings cannot be given notice of a journal.
Don't get to the point. No, listen. You're obfuscating the issue. What you're obfuscating.
And I did not interfere when you were speaking. I heard you. So
did you issue an easier notice saying there will be no change of controlling interest?
When you make misstatements. Please have a little patience to hear when you make misstatements and you are corrected.
You please come to court and challenge this whole thing. Why don't you do that?
Misstatement.
Put your legal brains where your political mouth is today.
19 months Modi government is in power. For 19 months Modi government is in power. If that extraordinary journal meeting was wrong, why did they not cancel it? Why did a single shareholder not come forward to cancel it? So let's not get into the argument
before the
of
court.
Subramanian Swamy.
It is part of Swamy's complaint. Read Swamy's complaint.
And may I also correct you, Arnab,
it is part of Dr. Swamy's complaint.
The judgment of the Delhi High Court, you forget. Well, Mr. Jethmalani, please have little patience. I know this is not a court of law, but when Arnab, you quote the Delhi High Court judgment, you forget to read the most relevant portion. And I'm reading para 36, where the judge himself records, and he says, I'm only reading 2 lines. He says it needs no reiteration that this is not the stage to even prima facie opine that ingredients of any of the alleged offences exist to justify putting petitioners on trial or not. Any observations made in this regard by the trial court or this court shall have no bearing when the case of petitioners is considered at the charge sheet.
Sir, you are also selectively reading. You are also selectively reading with the greatest of respect.
Please also read this 2 lines.
No, with the greatest of respect, you are also selectively reading.
Please read these 2 lines for your viewers.
Yeah, but with the greatest of respect, Mr. Surjewala, you are also selectively reading. You are also selectively reading. If you were not to be selectively reading, you would read in the observations of the High Court. You would tell us about the charges.
Yes, after
Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi versus Mr. Surjewala.
He says, no, it is not even prima facie correct what I am saying.
I'll quote.
If a judge himself
Sudhanshu Trivedi.
What he is saying is not even prima facie.
I will pull out parts of the I will pull out parts of the court observations.
Today convict me even before a trial has taken place.
No, certainly not. Nobody has convicted anybody before a trial is taking place, but you cannot hide bail.
Mr. Surjewala, you are quoting the point number 36 of the judgment.
I only gave you the exact finding of the judge.
Mr. Surjewala, you are quoting the point number 36 of the... Yes. But you also read the point number 39 of the judgment, in which the court has clearly indicated the criminal intent. And if whatever you are saying was correct, then court would not have asked your leaders to appear in person and give a bond of 50,000 rupees. If there would not have been any prima facie case. So whatever you are saying is selective and not in contrast with the total, not only in confirmation with the total case. Whatever I want to say, that the political parties, as Mr. Sundaram was saying, use these type of instances and use the political vendetta and the judicial process. Yes, of course. But in all those cases, one of the party was government. In all the cases were initiated by the government agencies. In all those cases, the charge sheet was put up by the government agencies. Here there is no role of any government or government agencies. It is purely between a personal person and others. And today Sonia ji was saying, कि हम तो पीढ़ियों से इस चीज को सहते चले आ रहे हैं. It was a very ridiculous type of statement. The Congress which ruled the country for 60 years and they are saying कि पीढ़ियों से हम सहते आ रहे हैं. अरे मैं याद दिलाना चाहता हूं, पीढ़ियों से तो हमने सहा है. The suspicious death of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee in 1953, the suspicious death of Deen Dayal Upadhyay in 68, the atrocities of emergency in 1975, the frivolous cases of our leaders after demolition of the
Janata Party in different avatars have persecuted Congress Party and its leadership many times.
From 2002
and this is not the first time you leveled same charges against Rajiv Gandhi ji. But what happened?
Our all integrity.
What happened?
Came out clean.
Your government was in power. Mr. Jethmalani was the additional Solicitor General. Nothing was found after years. And court honorably acquitted him.
It is only
you did the same things to Indira Gandhi. And ultimately you lost power and we were returned back to power. You did the same thing to Sonia Gandhi. When you questioned her citizenship and you lost power in 2004 and Congress was voted to power, you did the same thing to Sonia Gandhi again on Office of Profit issue. She was re-elected along with Congress Party in 2009. So
2 points to you.
Every time Janata Party in its different avatars have done so, people of this country have re-elected the Congress Party and have rejected you in toto. So I assure you, this time again you will be rejected in the same fashion.
Mr. Surjewala, 2 points to you,
there
please.
Is no government
2 points to you,
at all.
First of all, 2 points to Mr. Surjewala.
If there is no government agency behind Subramanian Swamy,
Mr. Surjewala,
Subramanian Swamy, that you continue to defend along with Mahesh Ji, then there is no Bharatiya Janata Party that exists. 2 points. Probably tomorrow you will deny that even a government of Bharatiya Janata Party
exists. Just like a high and mighty in the Delhi's power structure, if he is obstructed by the court of law or any process of the law, he or she says, you know who am I?
Let's go to the nub of the issue. Let's go to the nub of the issue. I want to tell Randeep Surjewala that Mr. Surjewala, National Herald properties belong to the people of India. First point. So if anybody has taken over the property, if Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi have become shareholders, you can say Section 25, 26, 2006 company, doesn't matter. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi cannot take over the property that belongs to the people of India. The government of India gave the land to AJL. No. The government of India gave land to the AJL and land belonged to the people of India.
The Congress Party set up.
No, National Herald may have been started. You don't own it.
Congress Party set up Associated Journals Limited and its objects and memorandum even today. Today from 38 to date.
If it was ever to be known.
It is constituted to carry forward the ideologies of Indian National Congress.
Yeah, but
not of Bharatiya Janata Party.
AJL
so it does not belong to Subramanian Swamy. It belongs to AJL belongs to
people of India.
Party.
AJL belongs to people of India. The assets of AJL were given by the people of India.
I am thankful. I thank you on your show today to identify Indian National Congress with people of India. Because that's what we are.
That's not.
That's what we are.
Don't twist what I said.
Indian National Congress ideology is illegal land grabbing.
Now you know.
And
what can be a peculiar inference of this
recognizing
case?
That Indian National Congress and ethos are ethos of people of this country. And that's what we've been saying all along.
One second.
Ethos of this country is not illegal land grabbing. That is the Vadra and Gandhi school of thought.
Arnab, this shows that the Congress, which has always considered the country as its personal freedom and looted the wealth of the country, their first family is considering their party and the assets related
I have personal prejudice against illegal land grabbers
as a personal freedom. They are not hesitating even looting the wealth of their own organization.
A point to be made. A point to be made. I haven't completed my point.
Please also tell about the loot in Satyam. Please also tell about the loot in Madhya Pradesh.
Arnab, can I cut in with one statement?
DMAT and others where
Satyam आपके ज़माने में हुआ था. Satyam के time पर in Andhra Pradesh your government was there and central your government was there.
Also tell about the scams of PDS in Chhattisgarh. 36,000 crore where your own government charge sheet names your chief minister.
In all the matters,
and I'm saying it
the
in the sense of
investigation is going on
Please
under the
also
auspicious
tell about
guidance
Modi
of
Gate scam.
the Supreme
Please
Court and the
also
High
talk
Court.
about mining
There is no
scam
role of
Pakistan.
government agencies.
Please also
You know that the Vyapam case,
talk about
the CBI
scams
is
in
doing
Maharashtra.
investigation under
Please
the
also
instruction
talk
and
about
guidance
the
of the
tender
Supreme
and
Court.
Chikki
So how you are
scam
bringing
of
this to-
Maharashtra.
We are
What
not
is
at all
Modi ji
involved in
doing
that
about
case.
it? Is it selective amnesia?
Okay, I'll
about
give up.
BJP's corruption?
I will
Or
make
is
a
it
point.
only
I will
targeting of all
I will make a
opposition
point.
leaders?
I will make
In
a
this
point.
case,
One second, I will tell. One second. I'm giving the last
exactly
word to
what happened.
Aryaman. I'm giving the last word to Aryaman. I will say
एक
something.
लाइन कहना चाहता हूँ।
नहीं मैं
एक
भी
लाइन कहना चाहता हूँ।
आप हमेशा वो शायरी करना चाहते हैं।
मैं ये लाइन कहना चाहता हूँ, सुनिए, एक ही आदमी,
can I just say one thing?
एक ही आदमी एक सेट ऑफ पर्सन पहले लोन मांगता है, वही पर्सन दूसरी कैपेसिटी में लोन माफ कर देता है और वही तीसरी कैपेसिटी में उस लोन को यूज कर लेता है।
और भारतीय जनता पार्टी
अंधा बांटे रेवड़ी, मुड़मुड़ अपने को दे। This is the same manner they have just enmassed the entire wealth and distributed among themselves.
आप तो सावन के अंधे हैं जिनको सब कुछ हरा हरा नजर आता है।
जी, now one second.
अरे मान्यवर, आपको हरा हरा ज्यादा नजर आता है, हमको तो आप भगवा ब्रिगेड कहते हैं, हरा हरा तो आपको नजर आता है।
अच्छा, okay, now Aryaman Sundaram is the last word on this interesting
मान्यवर
chat.
आप ही हैं जो
चल रहा है,
रंग जो इस देश की कुर्बानी का रंग है, जिसको एक पार्टी का रंग बनाने में लगे।
नहीं, they haven't completed. Aryaman, they haven't completed. Aryaman, Randeep and Sudhanshu are still having a go.
Have you finished? If you finished, I'll start.
Okay, have you finished? Yeah, go on, Aryaman, go on.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Arnab, actually, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Yes. Actually, all I want to say is the proof of the pudding is in the eating. We talk about a legal case which has to be resolved in a court. That's what Mahesh has been trying to say for a long time. That's what everyone is saying. That's what the BJP keeps saying. Everyone keeps saying. But the moment you debate it, please see how the political heavyweights take over and start bagging each other.
No, exactly.
So I think whether you like to accept it or not, all these, we may all use these platitudes, matter to be decided in court, but it's basically a manner of political bashing.
Yeah.
And it will be used as that.
Okay. Well, I think so. If every side believes in
Arnab, one last word.
No, lawyers will always want the last word. I give you 10 seconds for the last word. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Arnab, I do not agree with either Mr. Sundaram or Mr. Surjewala that the public perception is that this is a case of vendetta. The public has moved on from 1978, though a neo-monarchist party will not move on. The public will look at the merits of this case, which will ultimately be decided in the court of law. Yeah. And they will see the facts, and they are rational and intelligent enough to know what is criminal and what is not criminal.
I still insist, and I'm just going to mention it as a point. You can fight over the land and fight over the assets. I insist today, this land, these assets, these thousands of crores of assets in anyone's name belongs to the people of India, belonged and belongs. Give it back to the people of India. End the political debate, give it all back to the people of India. Build orphanages, hospitals with that money, create the assets, put it in public funds. End of debate. Then let us move on. We've all presented our points of view, legal and political. I thank Randeep as well as Sudhanshu, as well as Aryaman and Mahesh Jethmalani for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. This debate on the Gandhis in court is continuing. I'll see you on the other side.